is CTV News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Tonight, Windsor police have made an arrest, though still seek suspects after a cyclist was shot multiple times with an airsoft rifle last month. Police released video of the incident. You see the suspect vehicle there. Investigators say it was a stolen Toyota RAV4. They found and charged the driver, but they're still looking for the person who pulled the trigger. The cyclist told CTV News he was hit several times while riding through the intersection of Wyandotte Street West and Crawford Avenue on June 24th. Anyone with information is asked to reach out to police. Powerful emotions filled a Windsor courtroom today as the family of Daniel Squalls delivered victim impact statements during the sentencing hearing for the man convicted of manslaughter in his death. CTV's Michelle Molesky has more.
Daniel Squalls was only 24 years old when he was killed in November 2022. It happened in broad daylight, across the street from a daycare, while children were outside playing. One of them was the son of Squalls' family member. The trauma caused has been unreversible, Aliyah Rushan Hanser said to the judge. His class was outside at the time, and when the gunshots went off, they went into emergency lockdown immediately. The Squalls family members say their entire lives are forever changed by the loss of Daniel, a man who was loving, selfless, and devoted to his family. Daniel has been portrayed as a villain in his own murder, and I need this court to understand that's not who he was, Squalls' mother, Tylena Squalls, wrote for the court. She said Squalls was launching a vehicle wrapping business at the time of his death. The car wasn't just a vehicle to me, his mother wrote. It was a symbol of his dream, his hustle, for the future he was building for himself and his family. Squalls said her son also offered to donate a kidney when her health failed. Another family member told the court Wednesday she wants Daniel remembered for how he lived and not how he died. He was someone you could count on, someone who was loved deeply by those around him. Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
After another round of flooding, a new report says Windsor homeowners are paying more for insurance. Rates.ca estimates the average home insurance premium in Windsor is nearly $2,500 a year, about 11.5% above the Ontario average. The report flags the N8S and N8X postal code areas as having some of the highest flood risks, while N8X also faces elevated risks of sewer backups, wind damage, hail, and theft. After this past weekend, storms and wind maps show few to no lingering power outages, but that is certainly not the case across the river. As recently as this morning, 20,000 Metro Detroit residents still had no power. WDIV reporter Lauren Kostyuk checked in on some seniors still without electricity.
You know, everything's starting to thaw in there, and it was all leaking in the refrigerator.
This is Jim Nelson's 7th trip to his mom's house in Warren since her power went out Friday night.
No power, nothing. Refrigerators are out, all our food's going to waste in here.
He says DTE originally told his 88-year-old mom her power would be restored by Monday.
DTE says we're reaching out to seniors and we're going to help them with water and generators. Nobody's contacted my mom. She's 88 years old, and there's been no contact whatsoever. And
she's not alone. We also received calls from Parkside Senior Apartments in Livonia. They, too, have been in the dark for days.
I mean, it's terrible. It's actually people stuck on the 2nd and 3rd floor.
Eve Berthum calling it a nightmare.
Walking up 3 flights of steps, I'm ready to drop dead.
And then, in the middle of our interview, what do you know? The lights came back on. On Tuesday, the CEO of DTE saying that's their goal, full restoration.
We are on track to get 100% of the customers online tonight.
Calling Friday's storm unique and damage extensive.
We have broken trees, broken poles, broken cross arms. So we are, in some instances, rebuilding the circuits one customer at a time.
We understand emergencies like this and, you know, storms that power will go out. But for 4 or 5 days, this is totally, it's uncalled for.
A month ago today, many of us thought we were close to seeing the Gordie Howe International Bridge open, and while those hopes have cooled, the political debate remains hot. The U.S. ambassador to Canada is sparking debate, calling it a myth that Canada paid for the multi-billion-dollar crossing. While Canada did front the costs of construction, the plan has always been to recover that money through future toll revenue. Hoekstra argues those tolls could come at the expense of the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel and Ambassador Bridge. Following those comments, he explained his thinking.
The expectation is that over the years, as the bridge generates revenues and those kinds of things, the bridge will be paid back. So the bridge will actually be paid for by the folks who are using the bridge. It will not be paid for by the Canadian government. So no, Canada put the money up front, but at the end of the day, the expectation is that there will be a use tax that will pay for the bridge.
With the Gordie Howe Bridge still sitting empty, a former Windsor MP has a different idea. He wants to open it to the public before it opens to traffic. CTV's Chris Campbell explains.
Having it mothballed right now is absurd.
Former Windsor West MP Brian Massey wants the federal government to open the Canadian side of the Gordie Howe International Bridge for public tours now until such time as traffic can begin using the crossing. Massey says the bridge was built with pedestrian and cycling access in mind and believes temporary tours or special event days could safely showcase the landmark project.
Well, there's no reason we can't do it. It's a facility that's been paid by the public, and it has built-in public capacity access for it from its inception. So there's no reason not to do it.
Massey says opening parts of the bridge to the public could also serve as a trial run for operations.
I'd just like to see whatever they can do, get the border officers here and start to open it for general public people. But I would, just say even something simple of opening up the pedestrian capacity and doing some tours of some of the areas. We do close international borders all the time for special events. It's a known practice. It's been happening for decades. And so there's no reason we can't do something here, especially because this one can't even open on the U.S. side.
Current Windsor West MP Harb Gill says the proposal isn't without merit, but believes there are logistical questions that would have to be answered first.
For the workers in Windsor, it's a great idea, but logistically speaking, I would have some further questions as to how this is going to happen.
Gill also says he believes the proposal falls under Infrastructure Canada because the bridge has not yet been transferred to Transport Canada. Massey says whichever department has responsibility can simply forward the request to the appropriate minister.
This is something that we should all be embracing as an opportunity to use it for something that's positive. Instead of just letting Trump get his way and to put basically us down, let's turn it around and showcase this property and the benefits of it.
CTV News has reached out to the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority, Infrastructure Canada and Transport Canada for comment on the proposal and for an update on when the bridge is expected to open. None have responded by news time. Chris Campbell, CTV News.
Durham police have identified the recruit who was killed in yesterday's crash near Aylmer. Officers lined the street this afternoon as the body of 27-year-old Tyrone Magbatang was transported to the Ontario Coroner's Office. According to a statement from Durham Police, Magbatang joined the service as a special constable in 2023 and was selected as a constable recruit this April. With more from Aylmer, here's CTV's Sean Irvin.
Annette Verstegen lays a vase of flowers at the site where a Durham Regional Police recruit was killed in a collision with a transport truck. He has been identified as 27-year-old Tyrone Magbatang. His passenger, also a recruit with the Durham Regional Police Service, was critically injured. The pair were traveling to the Ontario Police College near Aylmer when the crash occurred at the intersection of Imperial Road and College Line. Multiple neighbors tell CTV News they heard the collision, with one witness describing life-saving efforts. Verstegen, who arrived home within a half hour of the crash, spoke briefly with the truck driver.
He said he didn't have anywhere to go. It was just quick and there was nowhere for him to go.
The Ministry of the Solicitor General, which manages the Ontario Police College, spoke directly through the Solicitor General. Michael Kersner stated the province stands in grief and support with those affected by the tragic loss. The Aylmer Police Service echoes those comments. It has a close relationship with the OPC.
If they need something, we're in their backyard and vice versa, so it's a place that's very near and dear to us.
That relationship made it even more challenging for Aylmer officers as they responded to the scene to assist the OPP.
While you may not know the person specifically, obviously the policing community and just seeing the policing clothing on someone and just kind of knowing that they're in that field and in that line of work certainly hits home for the officers that responded.
The tragedy also renews the call for change on Imperial Road. On Wednesday, just as emergency crews raced to the scene of another minor crash, only one line away from the fatal crash scene, residents said it's time for steps to be taken to reduce the frequency of collisions.
There's been so many, it's hard to give an exact number.
Maybe some roundabouts to control the speed and to make some of these intersections a little more safer.
But future measures still can't take away present pain.
It's nothing more than a shame, and it's certainly a tragedy.
Near Aylmer, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
The Canadian Baseball League is holding its All-Star Weekend in a few days, and this year Chatham is excited to be the host for the two-day festival. Here's CTV's Brent Leo with more.
When he brought an inter-county baseball league franchise to Chatham, Dom Donnell told the league, "Give me 2 years and I'll show you how much this community loves the game."
Think about Fergie Jenkins, Bill Atkinson, Doug Melvin. Before that, the 1934 Chatham Colored All-Star. So it's a baseball community. Everybody breathes baseball, whether you're 50 years old or 12 years old.
Prior to this season, the owners unanimously agreed to grant the Barnstormers All-Star Weekend. The league will close off Tweedsmuir Ave, and setup is underway for a two-day festival featuring music and games all centered around the best players in the Canadian Baseball League.
A section here that's going to be with the bands. We're going to have blow-ups for kids. We're going to have like beer, food trucks. This is all free. We have six bands lined up. The headliner is Adam Rodway from Toronto. You only need me when it's We got home run contest Saturday night with a skills competition, kind of what they do in the Asia, you know, with the bunting and stuff. And then we have free fireworks.
There is also a celebrity meet and greet Saturday featuring former NHL player Todd Warner and Chatham ex-big leaguer Bill Atkinson. And the hosts will be well represented this weekend. The Barnstormers are sending 7 players to the Midsummer Classic.
It's going to be a really exciting weekend for everyone in Chatham, and especially the baseball community here. It's big. We're a new team in the league, so it's going to be really exciting to have this event here.
Very perfect mix because while the entertainment is going on the street, we're going to have some baseball on the field so people can go in and out and have fun. There's going to be some refreshments too, so it's a nice day today. It's going to be a nice day on Saturday and Sunday too.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
How nice of a day is it going to be this weekend? CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has the answer coming up in 2 minutes' time.
This investigation could have potentially dramatic impact on the government and on the people of the province of Ontario.
And still ahead, 1,000 days and still no answers why the RCMP investigation into Ontario's Greenbelt scandal is still dragging on. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is here with our first look at the forecast tonight. And Gary, it looks like rain.
Rain for tomorrow, I think late afternoon. Tomorrow morning, sunny through the midday. Sunny still. Mostly sunny for the early afternoon. Then the clouds start to move in 2:30, 3 o'clock. By 4, we could see a significant drop in temperatures because the cold front will arrive. But just before that, it could be the catalyst for a leading edge of showers and isolated thunderstorm activity. Today was a mixture of sun and cloud, mostly sunshine and some clarity above. 31.2 degrees Celsius. Our average high is closer to 28. And that ridge of high pressure kept showers well to our east and north, and sliding further east. So we are in the dry slot for now, but there's more rain to come, I think, not just for Thursday, but Friday. So the pattern will shift. High pressure will evacuate, be pushed east, break down, and low pressure, and there's your clouds and showers moving through for the afternoon on Thursday, will take its place. Now, The worst case scenario is you get hit by an isolated cell directly, and that's where these rainfall tallies could, of course, be exceptional, to say the very least. And some areas might not see much of anything. Off in the distance, you might see some dark cloud, but nothing to see in terms of actual precipitation. So I think that's going to be the story. Scattered showers, thunderstorm potential. For now, this late evening into early morning, which is just over the horizon, we are looking at clarity yet again. Clear sky, light breeze, and a warm 20 degrees Celsius. Our average low, technically, in the pre-dawn morning hours, closer to 18 degrees. We'll see about 20 and 21. Speaking of the 20s, we're already up to 23, feeling like 31 at 8 a.m., mostly sunny. At that juncture, a light wind through the west is sustaining us at about 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. By noon to 29, feeling like 37. It's going to be a sultry one, to say the very least. And then the storminess. Potential showers scattered at around 4 p.m. onward towards supper time for most. 6 p.m. We'll see a high of 30 degrees at around 3:30 or so. Friday, cloudy still and showers a good possibility in the morning if we do see it at all. Lesser in the afternoon. Saturday, Sunday, upper 20s, 28, 29 looks good, and then just warming up. Low 30s next week. Showers to start, and then fairer weather through the midweek.
Thank you, Gary. To the Middle East now, where U.S. President Donald Trump says a ceasefire with Iran is over. With the latest, here's CTV's Joy Malvin.
The U.S. president said he's done. At the NATO summit, Donald Trump declared the fragile ceasefire with Iran is no more.
I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. They're led by sick people. And they're vicious, violent people. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it.
After another round of tit-for-tat strikes, the U.S. military blasted 80 targets in Iran. Retaliation, it says, for Iran's attacks on commercial oil tankers violating the ceasefire. In response, Tehran said it struck American bases in the Gulf, and Trump is furious.
We hit them very hard last night. Very, very hard. Probably hit them hard again tonight. I'll give them a little warning. We may take over Carg Island. There's not a thing they can do about it.
Canada's prime minister felt the U.S. strikes were justified.
The United States has responded as appropriate to look to stop this behavior and put in place at least conditions to reestablish the ceasefire.
But as mourning continues for Iran's supreme leader, state media accused the president of bullying. One official warned Trump is, quote, driving the region toward fire. But by the afternoon, Trump, who once praised Iran's leadership as smart and rational, said,
I think they're a little loco. They're a little crazy. I got to know them. And I'm not sure I want to make a deal with them. We can play games, but I'm not sure I want to make a deal. Let's just finish the job.
Unclear if this is a return to full-scale war. The president declared he's Iran's #1 target, calling ceasefire talks a waste of time, but said his negotiating team could still go ahead. Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
Meantime, Canada is pushing back after the Trump administration threatened new tariffs. The U.S. is considering an additional 10% tariff on Canadian goods, arguing Canada isn't doing enough to keep products made with forced labor out of its supply chains. Ottawa disagrees, telling U.S. trade officials a new federal law targeting forced labor means there's no justification for additional duties. The TSX lost over 300 points today. The Dow fell 576, while the Nasdaq rose 51. The dollar was up just over 1/10 cent. Gold dropped $75 an ounce, and oil gained over $3 a barrel. CTV News Windsor has launched a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local news. By signing up, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. Ontario's official opposition is marking 1,000 days since the start of the RCMP's criminal investigation into the Greenbelt scandal. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris has the details.
We couldn't really fit 1,000 candles.
1,000 to mark the number of days so far in an RCMP investigation into the Greenbelt. The probe launched in October 2023, looking into whether developers may have been tipped off. Land was about to be taken out of the protected zone.
Ontarians have been waiting for the results of this investigation because they need to know what happened. They need to know if they can trust Doug Ford.
The Premier apologized and returned land to the Greenbelt, but only after months of public pressure. 2 damning reports from Queen's Park watchdogs, and the departure of 2 cabinet ministers and 2 staffers. The government has said they're cooperating with the Mounties.
Every agency that's ever asked, it's all been transparent. We've given them everything they need.
Today, the RCMP says their sensitive and international investigations unit is still conducting an investigation. A spokesperson adds they won't be sharing more information so as not to compromise that work. That clampdown makes sense to this former Toronto police detective.
This investigation could have potentially dramatic impact on the government and on the people of the province of Ontario. So it's incumbent on the RCMP to make sure they get it right the first time.
Mendelson explains this investigation is complicated, multi-layered, with people inside and outside Queen's Park to look at.
You have government-issued cell phones, you have privately used cell phones, all of these things in terms of extracting information from them take time because not everybody's giving them up voluntarily.
The Premier has tried to push past the scandal and refocus on the economy.
That's something that happened years ago that doesn't even show up on our radar on polling.
His track record since then shows that he has learned nothing at all.
With opposition parties drawing connections between the Greenbelt and the Skills Development Fund, Science Centre shut down, and push to expand Toronto's Island Airport.
It's all the usual suspects. They know the government. They're friends of the government. They donate to the PC party.
An Integrity Commissioner's report on distribution of Skills Development Fund cash is expected in the coming months. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
If someone ends up in the Detroit River or another boat catches fire like it did last week, help could be half an hour away. As CTV's Robert Lothian reports, there is a push to bring marine rescue back to Windsor.
For Abby and Brava, visits to Pesh Island with their owner, Grant Hardcastle, is the best part of summer.
It's like having a piece of up north right here in our backyard, right?
If the trio was ever in need of a water rescue, typically a 911 call would go out to Windsor Police's Marine Unit.
This is Windsor Police Defender, call sign 7801.
Typically the calls go to Windsor Police, and if the police are available, they'll respond on the water. But that's a single shift, 7 days a week during the regular boating season. After those times, there's no boat available in Canada to come unless they come all the way from the Amherstburg Coast Guard, which is a 30-minute ride, or if the auxiliary is working in Tecumseh Bell River area, which again is another 30-minute boat ride to come to anybody who needs help in Windsor.
Harbor Master Peter Barry says that's too long.
That's a long time in cold water and hypothermia sets in.
A Windsor police official tells CTV News Marine officers are scheduled based on operational needs.
So we need something like a fire department, the fire department in Windsor, who has a 24-hour standing crew ready. It does make perfect sense. However, that decision is that of City Council and of the funds that the city has.
The city's 2023 Fire Master Plan recommends Windsor restore a marine rescue unit within 1 to 3 years. The plan notes the city monitors nearly 65 kilometers of shoreline and waterways, but the current 2026 budget doesn't consider expanding water rescue equipment until 2033.
There's no debate on it. It's something that we would definitely be interested in. And if there was ever a request from us, the membership, we would definitely step up and fill any type of void that would protect the community.
Since the 1980s, Windsor has relied on the U.S. Coast Guard and Detroit Fire for any water rescues.
We're in a different environment now, where even the U.S. Coast Guard is not as available to us anymore, nor should we be asking a foreign government to provide that rescue service.
Today, regular fire crews are strictly limited to land-based water rescue. They are contractually and legally restricted from getting closer than 3 feet to a shoreline, and they cannot step onto ice or enter any natural or man-made body of water. In an email sent to CTV News, a city official writes, like all master plans, the fire master plan is a guiding document that provides numerous recommendations which are subject to prioritization and available funding. A response these Windsor residents find unacceptable.
Have money to spend on a train downtown, millions of dollars. They have millions of dollars they spend on lights for Jackson Park. Surely they could spend some money on this marine unit.
We provide a hell of a lot of money in taxes for this country, and they are obligated to make sure we are protected.
Again, there's going to be cost of training, cost of a vessel, but what's the cost to human life?
Robert Lothian, CTV News.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is back with another look at the 7-day forecast. And Gary, if we want the beautiful weather forecast for the weekend, I guess we got to put up with the rain the next few days.
Rain for the next couple of days, but the lawns and gardens appreciate it. And we're looking at temperatures that are going to cool off just a bit. So the cold front that could be the catalyst, say around 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, will usher in some rain, much needed rain for growers in particular, and cool us off just a bit. Today was warm and humid. Tomorrow will be warm and humid and rainy. Potential thunderstorms, isolated though, but thunderstorms nonetheless. Showers, cooler. Friday, weekend, sunny, warmer, but seasonal. And then next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll go from cloudiness with showers to some sunny breaks and sunshine and low 30s. Wherever you are, enjoy your weather.
Thank you, Gary. Finally tonight, if you're looking for a reason to get outside this beautiful weekend, how about going on a dinosaur hunt? Colchester Beach is now home to a free dino dig where kids can search the sand for a hidden dinosaur fossil. Once they make their prehistoric discovery, they're asked to bury it again so the next young paleontologist can have a turn.
It's such a cool thing to do. You know, we want people to go down to the beach and do low-cost things. You know, bring your bucket, bring your shovel, and just make a fun day of it.
That's our time for tonight. I hope you'll join us tomorrow. For now, I'm Travis Fortnum. Take care.